Like, no, I'm not ready to part with these yet. Like, I just got these clothes. Like, this is cruel and unusual punishment. These are my confessions, this is my truth, and these are the stories. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melina, in case you didn't catch it. Today, I'm getting into immigrant parents and sending money and things back home and going back home. Growing up, every single vacation or extra dollar had to go towards sending money or things back home or to going back home. I mean, I guess that's essentially why they came, right? Yeah, but it still interfered with my quality of living growing up. I don't know if you know what this is or what it's called in your culture, but this was the bane of my existence growing up. Okay, maybe that was a little bit dramatic, but I still hated these things, and filling them up and sending them back home caused many inconveniences and problems for me growing up. In my culture, we call them a bidon. It's what we use to send goods back home, and they cost a lot of money to send. You have to pay for the things that are gonna fill it up and go inside of it, and trust me, it takes a lot to fill these things up. Like, they're huge, actually. There's a lot of space inside of it. It takes a lot of stuff to actually fill it up to the top. You have to pay for the bidon itself. You have to pay the delivery fee so that it can be dropped off at your house. Pay the pickup fee when you're done filling it up and they're coming to pick it up. You have to pay for that too. And then you have to pay for it to be shipped, like on an actual ship. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think that the family member whose name you send it in has to pay a fee to get it off the ship when it arrives. So add all that up and you could easily be spending $1,000 minimum without even blinking, and with financial obligations and responsibilities to still take care of right here. So my mom and sometimes my grandmother would buy things like clothes, shoes, candy, personal hygiene products like body wash, shampoo, conditioner, bars of soap, household cleaning products like dish soap, laundry detergent, different food items like canned goods, dry beans, rice, juice mixes, seasonings, different types of flour for cooking, different household items like cups, plates, kitchen dishes, pots, pans, radios, gaming consoles, and the list goes on and on and on. If they can fit it in there, they're sending it. And my mom would do it all by herself at first, but then once my grandmother came to live with us in the United States, it became a team effort and my grandmother became the captain of the ship. My mom and my grandmother, especially my grandmother, rest in peace, Vovo, were always collecting clothes, shoes, and different items to send back home. That means they would get clothes, shoes, and whatever else they were gonna send from people in the neighborhood, from yard sales, from bargain shopping, from anyone that we knew that had clothes or other stuff that they wanted to get rid of and didn't need anymore, from any sales that they found, from thrift stores, from used clothing stores, from used goods stores, from anywhere and everywhere. And my grandmother would always come up on bags of clothes and shoes and a bunch of other stuff that she would find on the side of the road while she was going for her daily walks in the morning. And the neighborhood outside my projects was very, very white, like predominantly white. So she found something every day. And all that stuff that was collected was put downstairs in the basement. So our basement was always filled with so much stuff. Like, there was stuff everywhere. There was no walking space. We literally had to create a path to go from like the bottom of the stairs to the washer and dryer, because there was literally nowhere to walk. And then we made a small path just to the basement door, like so that you could exit the basement in case of an emergency. Like, that's how much stuff there was. It was giving, this is too much clutter, get me out of here right now. And so because of this practice, there was an understanding in our home about certain things. When things went missing without a sign, trace, reason, or explanation, it was probably because it got put in the bidon and sent back home. Whenever anyone in the house outgrew something, it got sent back home. If my brother and I were gifted clothes that didn't fit or were out of season, or we just didn't like it or want it for whatever reason, it got sent back home. If I didn't wear something for too long, it got sent back home. If I had an outfit that I loved and, I just gave it a little break a little bit because, I used to really play out those outfits when they were really cute. So I would just, put it on the back burner for a little bit. By the time I came around to wanting to wear that outfit again, it was gone, sent back home. Do you know how many times me, my mom, or and my brother have been looking for something like crazy in the house, searching for it high and low. It could have been a shirt, a skirt, pants, bed sheets, a purse, whatever. It was just never to be found again. We would ask my grandmother if she happened to see whatever it was that we were looking for. And she would always say no, that she had no idea where it could be. A lot of times when I would see photos of people back home, or when I have gone to Cape Verde, I would literally see people wearing whatever it was that went missing months ago. And I would be like, voila, there it goes right there. And I had either forgotten about it, looked for it like crazy, or as an adult, I would just go and replace whatever it was because like I really wanted it, I really liked it, or I really needed it to complete my wardrobe. And my grandmother had sworn that she didn't see it. I miss her. Immigrants send any and everything back home. As long as it's usable, grabbable, available, wearable, sellable, they're sending that joint. One time I went to Cape Verde for my grandmother's 80th birthday party in 2016. It was my first time there as an adult because the last time I had been to Cape Verde was when I was around like 5 or 6 years old. So when I went back as an adult, it was basically like it was my first time there. I saw people in shirts from the losing team in past NFL and NBA championships, shirts from companies that no longer even exist, shirts and clothes from mad different places that just didn't make any sense. And I was like, what? Where did you guys get all this stuff from? From the immigrants sending things back, or probably some sort of donation, but mainly from the immigrants sending things back. And my mom was like, what do you think bidons are for, Melina? The last time I went to Cape Verde was this past spring when we went to go bury my grandmother, rest in peace, Vovo, in May. And I saw a guy dressed in full UPS attire. I'm talking about the hat, the shirt, the pants, and I don't know what kind of shoes he had on, but he thought his drip was untouchable. I mean, nobody could tell him he wasn't eating. And speaking of going to Cape Verde, that's the other main way that people back home come up on stuff. It's from when we go back home. When suitcases get packed for traveling back home, they basically get packed for the people back home. First of all, the traveler's gonna pack super fly clothes to impress everybody back home, to let them know that they made it and that they're from the land of milk and honey. They have to pack a gift for each person in their family, for everybody that they know or can think of. They have to put a bunch of candy in their suitcase for every single child in the neighborhood. And while packing, the traveler is very much aware of the fact that their suitcase will be coming back empty. Well, actually, all of your clothes and the gifts won't be coming back with you, but your suitcase is definitely not coming back empty. It'll be filled with all of the things that people are going to be sending back to the US with you. You'll be bringing back documents, cultural clothes, trinkets, allowable foods like salted fish, sweets, seeds, gifts for other people in the US that still has family back home, and anything else that is only available back home. So basically half of the country will be coming back with you. Like you could be 6 years old traveling back home with family or to visit for the summer or whatever, and you better believe you're getting on that plane back to the US with every single last pound allotted to you. Like, why does a 6-year-old have 2 50-pound suitcases filled to the brim? So like I said, the very first time that I went to Cape Verde was when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And my mom had bought me so many cute clothes and shoes. And I was so happy because I knew I was about to come back to the States looking fly with the illest wardrobe in the projects. Like nobody was about to be seeing me for the rest of the summer. Nobody was about to be able to tell me anything until my mom told me I had to leave most of my new clothes with my cousin, because she needed it more than I did. Like, no, I'm not ready to part with these yet. Like, I just got these clothes. I already had to give up mad stuff to those bidons, and now this? Like, this is cruel and unusual punishment. But it didn't matter. I had to leave a bunch of new clothes and shoes behind for my cousin, who was like the same age as me, maybe like 2 years younger. Now she dresses way better than me, has a bunch of name brands that I don't even have, and is way more hip than me. And she literally still lives in Cape Verde, a third world country. Make it make sense, because the math isn't mathing. Most people back home now only ask for expensive name brand things and are trying to keep up with American trends. And nobody wants the hand-me-downs anymore. Some people back home are dressing better than us here. Like, wait, I'm struggling to pay rent and buy groceries, but your hair stays done. You got all the latest gear. You have an iPhone, money in your pocket, and your clothes are newer and better than mine? Make it make sense, Jesus. But I digress. In college, I ended up taking an anthropology of migration class where I learned that the term used to describe our parents' dedication to sending money and stuff back home is called migration remittances. And now that I'm older, I can appreciate and understand why it's something that has to be done and it won't ever stop. And it shouldn't, to an extent. It's basically the whole point of migration, though, and why so many people like our parents endure the hardships and the struggles of being an immigrant in a land that's foreign to them. I mean, it's why they leave their homes, their families, and everything that they know and love for a better life and a better future for themselves and for their family. Growing up, though, I just wanted to keep all of my things, and I didn't understand why we had to share our little bit of stuff and our little bit of money. But I'm so glad that my mom taught me the importance of helping family and making it possible for them to grow and progress in so many different ways. So thanks, Mom. I'm better for it. Hated it back then, like it a little bit right now. But no, seriously, it was a good lesson to learn. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Growing up, every single vacation and extra dollar had to go towards sending money, but I still hated these things. And you have to pay for the bidon itself. You have to pay for the delivery fee for... You have to pay for the bidon itself. You have to pay for the delivery fee for it to... You have to pay financial responsibilities and obligations still to do... People in the neighborhood, that means that they would get... And she would always say no, that she had no idea, but mainly from the it'll be filled with all, it'll be filled, like, why does a 6-year-old have two 50-pound suitcases filled to the brim? Like, I was about to be leaving no crumbs. No, I can't do that. My mom told... Bye. Did I do that right? With my computer about to die, though.